illustrate the power of connection, let me tell you the story of my first grade teacher, Mrs. Eldridge. I started first grade in Chatham, Massachusetts public school in 1955 at the age of 6. I show up for first grade, I'm supposed to learn how to read. Well, I couldn't do it. The other kids were learning phonics, it didn't come to me. I have what we now call dyslexia, but back then it was called stupid, and the treatment was forget about the kid, put him in the corner, tell him to try harder. Well, Mrs. Eldridge, this wonderful old lady, very plump, I can see her so well, she knew there was more to it than being stupid. And she didn't have any formal training in reading, but what did she do? During reading period, we'd be sitting at these little round tables, and she would simply come over when it was my turn to read and sit down next to me. And it was back when old ladies used to wear a lot of powder, so she'd sort of arrive like a sugar donut. I can still remember all these clumps of powder. And then she'd put her arm around me. So there'd be her forearm there, my little head here, this enormous cushion right here. And she would hug me into that, and I would feel so safe. And as I would stammer and stutter, none of the other kids would laugh at me because I had the mafia sitting next to me. Well, that was my treatment plan, was Mrs. Eldridge's arm. That arm took out of the process the real disabilities, which are shame and fear and thinking that you're stupid. I was a bad reader throughout the year, but I was connected to the act of reading. And the part of my brain that had talent began to inch its way out. At the end of the year, I was still the worst reader, but I was on my way. I ended up majoring in English at Harvard College while doing pre-med, and that never would have happened had I had a different first grade teacher. That wonderful old lady's arm stayed around me for the rest of my life, getting rid of fear and shame, allowing me to develop the talents that I had, albeit slowly. But the talents that did finally emerge were superior. Never would have happened had I had a different first grade teacher.